You've probably never had a stranger tell you to get off a plane because of your smell. But what if that stranger was part of the crew? And what if that moment sparked something much bigger than humiliation? That happened to Jennifer Williams on a frigid February morning at Chicago O'Hare. A lead flight attendant, Mary Smith, stopped her mid-aisle and leaned down, her tone sharp and her words steady. "Ma'am, you smell terrible. You need to leave this plane immediately." For a moment, the whole cabin froze, and with those few words, everything changed. Jennifer, a 52-year-old black woman, heading to Dallas to run a kids fundraiser she built from scratch, not flashy, just quiet strength, looked up slowly, eyes wide with disbelief. All around, first-class passengers gasped. That airline seat wasn't just a seat anymore. It was ground zero. But hold on, I'll get to what happened next. First, tell me where you're watching from. Drop your city below. And yes, hit like and subscribe, because real-life dramas like this need to be heard. Back to that morning. Jennifer boarded with a soft smile, a basic ticket in her hand, a book on community projects tucked in her lap. The cabin was packed, coats jammed under seats, carry-on bags overhead, the stale scent of recycled air mixed with last night's coffee. She settled in, oblivious to the storm about to erupt. The woman in 15C, Karen Martinez, pearly necklace, tailored coat, perfectly put-together kind of style, sat beside her. From the moment she dropped into her seat, she huffed loudly, wrinkled her nose, waved her hand as if fanning away something foul. Within seconds, she called over Mary. "This woman smells awful, like body odor mixed with cheap perfume. We can't sit here." And just like that, in front of everyone, Jennifer was accused. Then Mary leaned in, performing a dramatic sniff, as if on TV, loud enough for rows around to hear, and declared Jennifer must deboard. The cabin reacted, eyes darted, whispers began. Jennifer froze, book still on her lap, her voice quiet but firm. "I showered this morning. I don't smell bad. I'm not bothering anyone." Karen scoffed, loudly enough for the aisle. "Don't lie." Mary, adopting protocol and theatrics both, tapped her headset and called on the intercom, "Captain Evans, we have a disruptive passenger in row 15. The door to the cockpit swung open, and out stepped Captain Jack Evans. Tall, composed, razor-pressed uniform. No questioning, no investigation. He walked over to Jennifer. "Ma'am, for the comfort and safety of all passengers, you must exit the aircraft." She stared up, stunned. "Seriously? Because of a false complaint?" Karen snickered. "Good luck arguing with the captain." Security guard Jerry Parker appeared next, grabbed her arm and said, "You're coming with me." Jennifer paused, then, steadying herself, pulled out her phone and said, loud enough to carry in that tension-thick aisle, "This is discrimination. I'm calling my husband." Karen laughed. Jennifer took a deep breath and walked off, her posture refusing to betray her interior storm. In the terminal, Jennifer's phone trembled against her ear as she whispered, "They kicked me off. They said I smelled." On the other end, her husband Justin Baker, a composed but furious CEO, replied, "Stay right there. I'm coming. Do not move." And with just that, the narrative flipped. Inside the plane, murmurs swelled. A retired veteran across the aisle, also named Jerry Parker, stood and muttered, "This isn't right. She wasn't bothering anyone." A few heads nodded. Susan, the young trainee flight attendant, hovered by the cabin door, voice small but insistent. "We checked. I don't smell anything." Mary glared at her. "Not your call, rookie." But Susan's uneasy conviction didn't loosen. she knew something was wrong. In the terminal, Jennifer waited, chin high, arm clutching her purse. Passengers watched, some whispering support, others shooting videos. The energy shifted. What began as humiliation had become a fight. Justin arrived moments later, tall in a navy suit, calm but commanding. He sought Jennifer, gathering her into a determined hug. "Where is she?" he demanded to the staff. Mary introduced herself as lead attendant. Captain Evans appeared. Justin didn't flinch at protocol. He demanded accountability. To Mary, "You acted on a single biased report without verification." To the captain, "Leadership means questioning when something doesn't feel right, not blind loyalty." To Karen, who tried to claim she smelled something, Susan stepped forward. "I checked. No smell. Mary told me to stay quiet." Passengers inside erupted. She wasn't doing anything wrong. Justin ordered statements taken from witnesses, pressed operations to halt the plane's departure. "Let the world see how we handle this." Within minutes, videos from inside cabin had already gone live. Outside, passengers held up phones, capturing live footage. Justin and his team gathered statements as Karen shrunk under scrutiny. Cabin audio later revealed she made mocking comments about Jennifer before boarding. The tide turned. In the conference room near the gate, Justin faced Mary, Jack, Jerry, Karen, with Jennifer by his side. Calm, steely. "No paying customer should be humiliated," he said, "and today you broke our trust." He reviewed evidence. Passengers only heard complaints from Martinez, no one else. Cabin surveillance confirmed bias. "All responsible employees are relieved of duty pending review," he said. The room shook. Outside, passengers broke into applause. Karen was banned from Skyward permanently. Jennifer's head didn't drop, not for a second. She looked from Justin to Susan, to the faces recording everywhere with phones raised. This was more than her fight now. It was a movement. As boarding resumed, a new captain and flight attendant took over. Inside, the cabin held a soft standing ovation when Jennifer reboarded, moved, humble, dignified. Captain Adams promised real change. Jennifer's eyes welled as people around murmured thanks. "You belong here," Justin whispered. And she did. By the time the plane landed in Dallas, the story had gone viral. Millions of views. Hashtags like "Rush Dignity" in the skies trending. News outlets jumped in. Skyward Airlines released an apology, fired those involved, and launched reforms. Mandatory anti-bias training, oversight for passenger removals, passenger advocacy task force. Jennifer became central to reform. Even Susan was promoted for her courage. Mary lost her career. Jack was grounded. Jerry the guard was ghosted from security jobs. Karen lost her business, her reputation in shambles. Jennifer chose not to lean into the spotlight. She doubled down on her mission. Her fundraiser soared. She launched her Foundation for Equity in Travel and Education, working with Skyward and beyond. Her story became industry standard. Passenger dignity became policy. 6 months later, Jennifer stood on a stage in Washington, D.C., her voice soft but unwavering. "This is about dignity, about being seen, about speaking up." The room rose in thunderous applause. Airlines across the country adopted the new protocols she'd inspired. Bookings at Skyward soared. Confidence returned. Susan became a trainer, teaching new recruits to stand up. Karen recorded a "sorry, I mean it too late." Mary never got her flight badge back. Jack quietly retired. Jerry volunteers now to teach respect. And Jennifer? She stood back, quietly proud. That flight might have started as her humiliation, but it became her power. Every boarding announcement now reminded crews, dignity is not optional. She'd sparked a wave, not just a ripple. And as Flight 456 lifted off, she breathed deeply, knowing the skies would never be the same.